Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the Rugby League Pom-Cast. This is episode 2 of the 2026 season. It is me, Johnny Lou, and of course joining me is Sam up in Queensland. How are we doing?
Good. It's warmish. Good to be on a Friday because
Who's
you're
hotter at the
just
minute? Us or
relaxing.
you?
I don't know. It's not as bad as it has been, but I do feel for like the poor sods down in Melbourne who have had to deal with like 45s the last couple of
Yeah,
days
Adelaide's
and
been
stuff.
42
We're on
today, I
par at
think.
the moment. We're both 29. We're on par.
It's
So,
33 where I am right now. So Western Sydney is
Western Sydney's always hotter.
beating you.
It's a
Yeah,
different
it's always
country.
4 degrees hotter, at least.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Get away from that coastal breeze.
Yeah, I always find it mad though how Melbourne's sometimes hotter despite the fact that it's more southern. Like, I think it should be
Melbourne's just so
cooler. And
up
it's
and
only an
down.
hour flight away. It's not like
Yeah.
it's like
Melbourne's
here to
so up and
London
down
away.
though. Like I've been watching the tennis, and a couple of days this week it's been like 45 degrees, and then other times it's like you see like coaches and stuff wearing full jumpers because it's like 23. So who
How
knows?
the Aussie Open is going on at the minute, isn't it? It's gonna be the F1 season soon down there, isn't it?
Yeah, I think 8th of March is the Australian Grand Prix,
Or is it
and
is it
yeah,
always the first one still, or is that
no, I think
changed?
they kick off in shit. I don't know where they kick off. I should know this. This is like just my job. But no, I think it was the first race for a couple of years. But
Because it
the
used to be
first
Barcelona and then it
race
went to
is
Melbourne. But then now they've
um
extended the calendar like 3 times since I last
yeah,
properly
and
followed
they've
F1.
oh no, it does start in Melbourne. So the first race is in Melbourne,
There you go.
and Supercars will be
Cool.
there, and apparently they're playing an AFL game at the MCG. So
Well, that's
there
going
you
to be
go.
a
Apparently
busy
they're going to get Ed
weekend right
Sheeran
there.
there. Apparently they're going to get Ed Sheeran to the MCG to play a
Well,
concert.
he is around then, isn't he?
I
Is
don't
he
know.
April? I
I'm not
can't
an Ed
remember when
Sheeran
he's doing
fan.
his. Neither am I. It just keeps popping up on my thing. I do want to get tickets to Biffy Clyro though, so I need to sort that out. I think that's the 8th of April. So that is one thing I need to
I
sort out.
don't.
But we're not here to chat music. Yet again, we've gone on to a different complete topic. These are here for Rugby League. These are here for what we have teased. In the previous episode, the 4 teams we're going to preview before the season starts. And my God, we picked 4 belters. So let's start off with the current Premiership holders in the Brisbane Broncos. Get your notes out, Sam. That was, for the audio listeners, him clanking his big notepad that he's done for work. Best thing about these podcasts, we just reuse Sam's notes from 9.
Yeah,
So we've literally got a journalist on this
yeah.
podcast.
You could tax write off your recording and like any
Oh,
recording devices
there we
for
go.
me.
This is
No,
it.
could you? I don't know.
I'm
I
not a
hope the
registered
ATO is not
business,
listening.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
this isn't
okay,
a
send me
business. We don't make money on it yet.
if you send me the receipts for your
Yeah,
microphones
yeah.
and
And then
stuff,
you put it
then I'll
through, and
claim it
then
on tax and I'll
there we
keep it.
go. We
And you won't hear
that
from
could
me
be your
again.
pay. That could be your pay. But yes, we got the Brisbane Broncos. They are hoping to continue the way they left off with that massive winning streak, with Reece Walsh still not losing a game since toilet bowl scandal. Is Reece Walsh going to lead them into this season's Premiership, a double one? They have, of course, added Grant Anderson from the Melbourne Storm to the list, and I think he's the only major recruit.
Well, they ended up signing Tom Duffy from the Cowboys and Orlix Tafar from the
They did.
Dolphins, the front rower as well. So it's a
Is that
like
to replace Jock Madden?
so Jock Madden, he's back at the Tigers, isn't he? But
Yeah.
Jock Madden left. Kobe Black went to Canberra, and so Tom Duffy came in to kind of be the backup halfback because they've got
Yeah,
2 elderly halfbacks there who we will talk about, I have no doubt.
absolutely.
And so I mean, it's just sort of like they didn't really need to recruit because
Heavily.
of just because of how successful they were. Um, so look, I like the Broncos roster. I feel like with the Broncos, it's always the same conversation we have after they have a good year. Is how like you can't see them getting not being better or not being there or thereabouts at the end of the year. But we said that after 2023, and we know what happened in 2024, where they missed finals and Kevin Walters ends up getting sacked. There's two things that make me a little bit hesitant on the Bronx. It's that, the way that they backed up after 2023, and also Michael Maguire's history, where he wins the comp with Souths in 14, and then
Yeah.
2015. I think they still made finals the following year, Souths, but it was nowhere near as good a team. And to be fair, they also lost. I think Sam Burgess left, maybe John Sutton as well, or somebody else left the Rabbitohs after they won the comp that year. So it's sort of, I don't know, like you look at their squad and they've added some solid additions to it. I think missing and again, the names that have left are only really depth players, except probably
Yeah.
Kobe Hetherington, who
Yeah.
is going to be a big loss for them because he plugged so many holes for them when Payne Haas and Pat Carrigan needed minutes to catch their breath after carrying the pack. But it's going to be a big year for the Bronx and Michael Maguire for how they learn from the past to continue the form. But I mean, like the way Reece Walsh carried his form into the Australian games for the Ashes, like he is the key for them. How do they keep Adam Reynolds and Ben Hunt on the park? Like, what do they do with them? I heard someone the other day saying that I think it was Andrew McCulloch said like he'd be playing Ben Hunt at 14 and just bringing him on as like the settler, as the settler when things go bad. And then if Reynolds, you assume Reynolds is going to miss games at some point with some sort of soft tissue injury. So that's where Ben Hunt can come in, and then you just got to make sure you manage those guys right so that they're good to go for finals footy. But I mean, it's again,
Billy will be a while off though, won't he?
it's a great team. Billy Walters
Was it
is when
ACL
did
or
he did his
MCL in the
he did
end?
his ACL in the Canberra game, so that was
Yeah.
first week of finals in
So you're
September.
talking
So
playoff time
you
coming
probably
into this
yeah
year
probably June at the
at the year at
earliest.
the best
Yeah, and August, September, worst case, probably for Billy Walters. So he's going to be a
Yeah.
big miss for them. But again, like if you've got Ben Hunt there to come off the bench, just through my pen. If you've got Ben Hunt there to come off the bench and play hooker, you've got Corey Pakes who can play hooker. Blake Moses
Yeah.
still there. Like they've got options to cover him, and it's just about how you manage. It's just about managing them so that they're fit when it comes to finals. Because again,
Yeah.
the thing is with a lot of, and it's something we'll probably talk about with every team, is that the depth isn't great across the whole NRL. Like you've got your best 17 players, and the depth from no team of the squads that I've gone through so far has got great depth across every position. So for the Bronx, it's their forward pack where they haven't got probably the depth to come in and cover if guys go down. And the other thing is that if Reynolds or Hunt go down, next guy up is Tom Duffy, who's only played a handful of games for the Cowboys. So it's just about managing that.
Yeah, absolutely, and that will be the main thing. But with Ben Hunt playing potentially his final season in the NRL, who
I
knows?
don't know.
They haven't announced any contracts. He's keeping quite coy on his future. He's just playing for this year. He keeps
I
reminding
think it'll be
everyone.
Reynolds last year.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that being Reynolds last year, especially with the injuries he had at the back end of last year.
Mm,
But then when he came back in them 2 games, he absolutely tore it up. So
yeah,
who knows? But with Ben Hunt, he's finally got that premiership that
yeah.
he's waited a while for. He's, won State of Origin single-handedly on one occasion, and he's kind of completed everything. So if he does go out this year, which I think one of them two will go, I don't think they'll both go at the same time. I think they'll
No.
have one steady the ship. So Ben Hunt is key this season, I think.
And thing is, you got Jonah Pezzett coming
With
there
that
next year.
utility option. With who,
I
sorry,
think
coming in
you
next
got
year?
Jonah Pezzett coming there next year.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I think Ben Hunt probably is a little bit more. I know he had that really bad concussion and he had a hamstring issue last year, but he's more um, reliable injury wise than what Adam Reynolds is. So, and I mean, the monkey off the back for Ben Hunt, he probably doesn't mind just playing off the bench and playing that role where he comes on and plays hooker and would still play big minutes. Like you can still see him playing 60, 70 minutes.
Hmm.
It's just about how they manage the rest of the spine. Because like you're going to have Ezra Mam there to start the year this year, which was a luxury they didn't have last year. You're going to have like Billy Walters missing is big because he's probably your first choice hooker. But I mean, they've got so many luxuries there, and their backline is just like they're the
The
two
strike
for.
everywhere.
There is like I look across. So if you look at the best 17 for them, there's not really a weakness. Like Walsh at the back, your wingers to choose from, Karapani and Mariner were the other ones that'll probably start the year because they
Yeah.
were the wingers last year. But then you got Grant Anderson that's come to the club too, that could very easily be a starting winger. Staggs and Shibasaki, Ezra Mam and Adam Reynolds in the
It's a
halves.
joke, isn't it, that?
It is. Payne
That
Haas up front and Xavier Willison's probably going to
the
start up front for them as
depth in
well.
them
Uh,
outside backs, man. The depth in that.
Ben Hunt and Corey Pakes that will rotate at hooker. Jordan Ricky and Brendan Piakura in the back row. Pat Carrigan at lock. Corey Pakes or Blake Moser or Ben Hunt on the bench. Corey Jensen, Ben Takura, Ben Tolte. Like that's probably your best 17 when you look at the Broncos. It's just there's not a spot in that best 17 that is weak. So if
No,
everything, as long as they've had a good preseason, which I know they have because I've been down to a few preseason trainings and they look good, they're coming. They're going to be
they'll
full
be
of
fit.
confidence. Michael Maguire's not going to let them get ahead of themselves. He's not that kind of
Yeah,
coach. Like there was circumstances with Souths in 2014 where he lost players and there was some issues with the board, but like it's all everything points to them being a great team again this year. It's just about I think for them, like the next step for them as a team is not having to come back from double
yeah.
digit scores. Like they had so many 10 point, 12 point, 16, 20 point comebacks last year. And they all sort of came towards the end of the year, like in finals where everything's sort of in the balance. But I don't know that they can do it consistently throughout the whole year. Like they're
No,
gonna want to start well this year and not have to chase down A the top four, but B have to chase teams in games. So you want, especially with the aging halves, you want to give them as much opportunity to be on the front foot as possible.
absolutely. And with them not losing many players, they've managed to keep that group together. So not only that, they've also had that season of Michael Maguire, so they know what to expect. Obviously, they started off the first 10 games in, I think they had more losses than they did wins in the first
Yeah,
10 games. Was it 6-4 or 7-3 or something like that?
yeah,
Or it might have been 5-5. It was around like they weren't basically aspiring to what they were meant to be. And it all looked like Michael Maguire, there was a fallout between them, and as the press like to always go on about. And then suddenly it kicked in. So they already know how he works, how he operates. They've got that same playing group pretty much together with minimal departures. There's not as much instability in that
mm.
outfit. So they've got no excuses to not kick on this year.
No, I agree. And the other thing, like this is a team that long term can be really good too, because like outside,
A lot
like
of youth still as
you've
well.
got and you've got your questions over Payne Haas's future, which are always going to be there until he fully recommits. But Walsh is there long term. Katoni Staggs is going to be there long term. Ezra Mam's there long term. I know that Reynolds and Hunt are at the back end of their careers, but you've also got, and then you've got what's his
Peasant
face,
coming in.
Jonah Pezzett coming there next year. Carrigan's there long term. Willison's there long term. Piakura's there long term. Like they're all guys that are going to be to a core of players that are going to be there for a long time. Which I don't really want to say it because it's very different situations. But you look at Penrith, and yes, they've had changes with players leaving and whatnot, but they've had that core there of Edwards, Cleary, Yo, Toto, Leota
Hmm.
probably that have been there the whole time. Liam Martin as well. Like they've had that six players that have been there the whole time. They're all there long term, and you just build everything else around them.
Absolutely. And we've spoken about the top of the tree last season. It's only poetic that we go all the way to the bottom with the Newcastle Knights under a new head coach this season in Justin Holbrook. My man
Mm,
Justin, the man who was wronged by the Titans, is trying to make some rights with the Newcastle Knights. Now, it's okay to go with doom and gloom with the Knights, but I want to start positive with some positives that they might have this year. They've
Hmm.
got Fletcher Sharp playing at 5'8". They've got Sandon Smith potentially coming in at the halves to lead them. They've lost Jackson Hastings to St. Helens, so they've got a whole
That's a
different
positive.
spine set up.
That's
They've got
that's eight
Dylan
hundred
Brown.
thousand dollars.
Exactly. They've got Dylan Brown coming in, who, depending on where he's going to play, because Sandon Smith, I think, can play 7. So he could
Yeah.
well have,
Yep.
like, Dylan Brown playing 6, Sandon Smith playing 7. Could have Sandon Smith with Crossland playing 9
Yep.
to accommodate Fletcher Sharp and have Dylan Brown at 7. You've got Caelan Ponga out the back. You've got Gagai, Best, Dom Young, and even Tyson Gamble as a backup half this year rather
Yeah.
than being the backup and potential starter. You've got a lot of positives in that back line.
Mm.
I think in terms of the whole backs, the issues though start coming into it in the forward pack. I feel they're just a little bit light on forwards. They've got
Yeah.
Frizzell coming towards the back end. They've got Crossland at 9, I mentioned earlier. They've got Dylan Lucas, who had a stellar game, notably against Penrith last year, where he scored pretty much a hat-trick in the first half. Jacob Saifiti's there, but they did lose the likes of Thompson, who didn't have a great season last year, but he is that big prop forward that they've got, that they've
Yeah.
lost. They
Yeah.
replaced him with Trey Mooney.
Look, I don't like with the Knights. It's clearly going to be a rebuilding year for them. Like it's a start fresh year. There's a couple of teams in that boat. I think the Titans probably in that boat too, but the Knights definitely in that boat where it's a start fresh year. New coach comes in. They've shed a lot of dead weight, as you mentioned, with Jackson Hastings moving on. Jaden Brayley, who was chewing up a fair bit of cap without playing very
Yeah.
much. Some guys that they'd brought over from the UK, and Will Price and Kai Pearce-Paul moving on. The losses for them, Leo Thompson that you mentioned, going to be a big loss. Adam Elliott too will be a big loss
Yes.
for them,
Yeah.
and his contributions through the middle. They've got a lot of good young players there though. Like they've picked up Trey Mooney from Canberra, who was just like that Canberra forward pack. It's so hard to get a look in, and Trey
Yeah.
Mooney is one of the best young forwards that was on the market. He just hasn't gotten the opportunity because he's stuck behind Papali'i, Tarpanay, Horsburgh, Smithies, Mariota, like probably the best, probably the best forward pack in the comp, and it's pretty easy to see
Yeah.
why he didn't fit in there because he hadn't played the games of first grade. Their depth, look, their top line players across the forwards and the backs are high quality. It's just where it drops off, and it mainly drops off because there's a lot of young guys there that have got a lot of talent but haven't got the NRL experience.
Yeah.
Like Cody Hopwood is one, for example, that has got big raps on him
Mm-hmm.
but hasn't played a lot of first grade. Jermaine McEwen, another one who hasn't played a lot of first grade but talented. Tom Cant as well.
Yeah.
Dylan Lucas, who I don't think's back for a little while. He's got that foot injury, but like they've got good young players
Yeah.
there, and then like Jacob Safiti's still there to lead the pack. Tyson Frizzell's still there to probably play lock and be again part of the pack leadership. But it's just how the young guys go, and unfortunately, like the luxury they have is in the way that they manufacture their spine. Like, does Fletcher Sharp play 6 with Dylan Brown? Does Sandon Smith play 7 and Dylan Brown play 6 and Fletcher Sharp? Like I don't see him fitting in the back 5 because you got Bradman Best and Dane Gagai there, and then Dom Young and Greg Marju on the wings. So what do? Does Sandon Smith
Greg
just play
Marju
4?
was offered to Super League clubs though.
Yeah, but he's
So
still there though this
whether
year.
they're planning to
Does Sandon Smith play?
utilize that.
Does Sandon Smith play 14 as a utility that can play across the whole back line, cover hooker, and cover Phoenix Crossland? Like, does he just go to hooker and Phoenix Crossland plays lock? I don't know. It's interesting. Going to be interesting to see what they do. I was listening to Willie Mason's podcast, and he seemed very, very confident that Caelan Ponga was going to play 7.
Oh,
along with
That's like
Dylan
my
Brown,
Rugby League
and
26 team
Fletcher
because
Sharp
he's
would
playing
play
seven for
fullback.
me.
Yeah, so he was real bullish on it, and I was thinking about it, and it's like the key for Newcastle, and I think we've said this the last 2 years, is Kalen Ponga, and he didn't get the ball he wanted at fullback last year because his forwards got dominated and his halves weren't clicking because they had, I think, 8 or 9 different halves combinations across the whole year.
Mm,
So do you just put him at 7 to manage to run the whole show? He does the kicking. He's got his hands on the ball as much as possible. Probably takes a bit of pressure off Dylan Brown, but also like if you can split those two and have Ponga on the left where he's so dangerous and Dylan Brown on the right or swinging around, and then you add Fletcher Sharp in there at fullback. It's like it makes sense in terms of getting the best out of them for scoring points, but I'm a little bit scared thinking about Kalen Ponga defending in the front line because of some of
yeah.
what we've seen in the past when they've tried to move him to 6. Like that game against the Tigers in like round 2 or 3 or whatever
So
it
you
was
get carved up.
of 2023, where he just got where he just got like it was just a very innocuous sort of clash with the shoulder of one of the
Oh, yeah,
Tigers
yeah, yeah.
players, and he ends up knocked out, and that was when he had to go over to the States and
Yeah, yeah.
get his head looked at over there, and there was questions about whether he'd play anymore. Like, yeah, ends up coming back and winning the Daly M and taking the Knights to finals, but I feel like it's too risky with him to defend him in the front line. But it's an interesting thought, and I don't know. It's a good headache to have for Justin Holbrook, who I don't think's been given enough credit, to be honest, about
No.
the way he can turn a
And
team around.
he is an attacking coach.
He
So
is,
having all them attacking options at his
yeah,
disposal, like Saints when he coached Saints, they were scoring points for fun. When he was at the Titans, it was a case of we'll score a shed ton, but they
yeah,
just couldn't defend. It was like they just that was the issue at the Titans. He got the Titans to the. He's only the second coach to take the Titans to playoffs, for God's
yeah.
sake,
And they
behind
were a
John
pass away
Cartwright.
from losing it, from getting through
Literally
to the next week.
to the
And
prelims.
the other thing is like Justin Holbrook obviously was a great coach for St Helens, and then comes to the Titans. What happened at the Titans? What we've seen in the last couple of years probably gives us a bit of insight that it's more a Gold Coast Titans thing, and the way that their management structure's been blown up and
Yeah,
rebuilt. That it's probably more a Gold Coast Titans issue than a Justin Holbrook issue. He's going to be a better coach too because he's been at the Roosters as the attacking coach and learning off Trent
yeah.
Robinson and
Again, which is what he was before he went to St. Helens.
looking at how a successful system works. And now he's got a roster with a lot of upside, probably not the depth in the forward pack that you'd like, and that's where they can that's where their cap management has killed them, having guys like
Yeah,
Jaden Brayley and Jackson Hastings not playing because they haven't been able to keep Leo Thompson and
yeah.
Adam Elliott and the like, and hadn't been able to keep Daniel Safidi the year before. But like
But
this
then
is
they
a
piled
team.
it onto
This
Dylan
is
Brown's weight.
this is a team. But yeah, I get that. But like, this is a team where if you can get the best out of Dylan Brown and Kalen Ponga, and then just fill those holes around him with, and it's the same thing that Andrew and Matty Johns always talk about, is making sure that you've got your core, and then you just create local juniors. Like, you get your local juniors coming through to fill the rest of it, and they've got good local juniors there. So I think this year's going to be a big stepping stone for them. Don't think they get the spoon this year.
No,
I don't think they get the spoon this year, but I'm excited to see how they go. Like, they're not going to make
it'd be
finals.
interesting to see how
They're
our
not a
ladder
threat.
predictors come in a few weeks.
Yeah, I Jesus, I got about 16 teams in my top 8.
It's the best thing about the NRL, though.
Mm.
Anyone can beat anyone, and
Yeah,
anyone could be in the top 8.
yeah.
Like, apart from the Titans.
Hey, Josh Hannay and Scott Sattler are going to do good things there.
Exactly. So we've done top, we've done bottom. Let's go to. Did they finish 15th last year in the North Queensland Cowboys? A
Yeah,
team that
and the Knights' opponent in round 1, or in
a
Vegas.
couple of years ago, finished second on the ladder. It's been a pretty turbulent few years
Yeah,
for the Cowboys. Obviously, the whole Jason Taumalolo $1 million contract salary cap is kind of weighing quite heavy nowadays. Although he can still do a bit, he's not fulfilling that $1 million price tag right now. So the salary cap for them is a little bit disjointed.
Mm.
They've got new recruits of Reid Marnie. He came in this
Mm-hmm.
year, didn't he? He
Yeah.
came in with the likes of Matthew Lodge joining, Sonny Luke being announced last week that he pulled out of his deal with Catalan and he is signed for them this year. And they are pretty stacked in the forwards, all in all. It's mainly the backs that they lack a bit of depth in. So it's like the opposite to
Yeah.
the Knights.
Yeah, their outside backs especially. Like you've got Jackson Purdue there, Murray Taulagi there, but I mean, like
Jackson
it's just
Paulo, who's
yeah,
basically a
he's
journeyman at
decent.
this point
Yeah, they've got Kyle Labert there
for a
too, who's a
young
gun.
boy.
Like Kyle Labert there is there too, and he's a gun, but he just can't stay on the field. Same thing with Tom Chester. And then yeah, like their outside backs leave a little bit to be desired. But the big question for me with like obviously there's a lot of pressure on Todd Payton. I think he's got a magic round deadline to have shown signs of improvement before they start looking to move coaches on. But I like what do they do with their halves? You've got Tom Dearden and Jake Clifford there. Like the idea probably is for them to be the halves to start off with. But
They said Purdue's been
Purdue wants to play in the halves
training at
too,
6.
and he's been training at 6. So yeah, that I mean that's an interesting one too. It's the same similar thing with the Cowboys as to the Knights, where they've got the top end of their squad, and this has been the same thing for years. Is the top end of their squad are all international origin rep players, right?
Yeah.
Drinkwater
Then the
is
drop off is
Drinkwater
huge.
could play rep footy. Talangi, Purdue could play rep footy. Dearden, Tamoilo has, Reid Marnie could, Jeremiah Nanai, Ruben Cotter, but then the drop off after that is massive.
It's huge. It's a massive drop off.
Yeah. So that's going to be
Cohen
the issue
Hess,
for them.
I really like though. He's a consistent
Again, just can't stay on the
player,
field.
but he just can't. Again, he's
Griffin
same
Neame
thing.
can't stay on the field. Hillam Lukey can't stay on the field. Taumalolo can't stay on the field. So like they've been hurt with that, and it's just their depth in all of those positions. Like it was last year, I think, where they missed Taumalolo for the start of the season and just couldn't get the best out of their pack at all. I think Reid Marnie's recruitment is going to be really good for him because Reid Marnie is going to add a lot of grit, which they haven't had for 2 years.
Yeah, they need that dog.
Like they give up when they don't have the ball. Like you watch them, and if they turn the footy over, they love having the ball because they're a great attacking team. But when they turn the ball over, they just give up. Like there's nothing. They don't
He
offer
never gives
anything.
up though, Reid
But
Marnie.
Reid Marnie's going to bring a bit of that dog in. Like you throw him in the middle with Ruben Cotter, and like all of a sudden that's a really strong defensive middle unit. When you possibly like give Matt Lodge credit, he works hard in defense. He does.
Yeah.
Like he'll be a good pickup for them. I don't know whether he makes it to Vegas. That's a completely different conversation.
He's met with officials.
Yeah, I think I just I think I hate saying it, but Todd Payton won't see the year out. Like I don't
And
see.
then if he doesn't, do they replace him on an interim basis with a former head coach in Paul Wellens, who's there as assistant?
Honestly, probably. Honestly, they probably
even just do a Michael Carrick till the end of the season while they sort out. But one thing Paul Wellens will bring to them will shore up that defense because his defensive attitude and style in the way
that's why he's there.
That's why he's there, and he is going to transform that defense to make it concede not as many points because they were leaking in points last year. It's such a high rate as well. And I reckon that it'll also help utilise Kai O'Donnell, who didn't get used as much last year as I expected him to. He's a very good player at second row. And he's got his tackle technique and his tackling abilities in Super League for Lee were class. And I just think they could use it. And obviously the purchase of Sonny Luke being a backup hooker for them for Reid Marnie could be good.
I like that because they don't have to play Sam McIntyre. They don't have to play Sam McIntyre at hooker when Reece Robson's out. Like, that was
Exactly.
what they did last year because they didn't have a
Literally.
backup hooker.
And Sam McIntyre is not a hooker. And also Wellens has worked with him with the Tonga setup as well. So there's that connection. So I again, I don't have these bottom, but I don't know where I've got them.
They're they're
I've got to
probably
work
around
them
that.
out.
They're probably around that 12th, 13th sort
But
of
I'm
spot.
not excited by them. Like
No,
they're
there's
not a
been
team that excites me.
years gone by. They have been a team that excites me, but I'm so scarred by what we've seen from them the last couple of years, where I sort of go, yeah, I can't see how improvement comes. Like improvement ladder wise, like I think we're going to see improvement there. Like Reid Marnie is that sort of spiritual leader. We've seen what
Yeah.
he's done with the Dogs and the way he's led the defensive like systems at the Dogs with that high pressure defense, which you can do with a smaller pack. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes with like big guys like Tamalolo and Matt Lodge up front. But like there will be improvement, but I just don't see how they get over the not being able to win week to week. And like, it was so frustrating watching them for so many stages last year because they'd come out and upset somebody and then they'd go and lose to the Dragons. Like it was a frustrating year. So I'm a bit scarred in predicting them for a decent finish. And yeah, there's too many questions with the Cowboys because of what we've seen
There's
for
too
the
many
last couple of
questions
years.
and not enough answers.
Yep.
And I
Yeah.
feel like that's just going to summarise their season because I can see them getting some wins on the board. I just can't see them getting enough. And I just don't know where the points are going to come from. Like
Yeah.
Tom Dearden, fantastic player. We've seen him in that final game for Queensland tear up, organise, absolutely smash it. So he's more than likely going to be playing the 7 role
Yeah.
with, by the sounds of it, Purdue at 6. And then it's just Clifford's just back to playing his bit part role. And
Yeah.
it's just then where do they go?
Yeah. Just looking at their games last year and how up and down they were, they start off the season getting smashed by Manly, then get smashed by
Yeah.
Cronulla, get beaten by the Broncos I'm pretty sure that game was really wet from memory.
Yeah.
Then they come out and beat Canberra, like dominated Canberra. They beat Penrith the next week, they beat Souths the next week, beat the Titans, and all of a sudden it's like, right, they're 1-4 on the trot, seasons turn around, they lose to the Warriors, they get smashed by Manly again, they only just beat the Tigers, get smashed by the Storm. The Dolphins put 60 on them. The Roosters put 42 points on them. And then from that point, it was just all downhill. Like,
More,
they
more,
couldn't,
more points.
yeah, they were getting smashed by Cronulla, like, getting smashed by the Broncos again. It was so up and down for them where at their best, and this has been the case for the last couple of years, where they were one Ford Mitchell Moses pass call away from making the grand final to the next year where they can't lay a tackle. And the year following where they can't lay a tackle and now they're turning the ball over more. And so they drop the
Literally.
ball and can't tackle and are conceding 50, 40 points every second week. It's been a frustrating couple of years for them. I mean, like 2024, Todd Payton said after they lost to the Sharks in second week of finals, I think it was, said that they need to mature as a team, and you'll just look at the results of last year, and they haven't.
No. No. So Paul Wellens has a lot to reassure to assure at that defensive outfit. Todd Payton has his job on the line, and he probably is the coach that's under the most pressure this year coming into it.
I don't think he sees out the year.
Well, yeah.
I just
I
don't
mean,
see enough in that team to show him the improvement that the Cowboys want by Magic Round to save his job.
of all the coaches though in the NRL, he is the most under pressure, without a
Yeah,
doubt.
yeah,
I don't even think it's one of. I think he is the coach most under pressure because not only that, the Townsville board have such high standards.
yeah.
Like
Because they've been a good team for so long,
yeah, and like
and
you
they've
said,
had
that
this,
drop, and they have the rep players. They
and they've
just
had
that
this
drop
gun
off is
squad. They've
between.
had this gun squad for 5 years and haven't been able to convert it.
Mm-hmm. So that is definitely the one. And the final team we're going to review today, it is your team, Sam. So I'm going to let you lead us all off with this and talk us through the Daly Cherry-Evans Roosters.
Mm, I still haven't changed my position on Daly Cherry-Evans coming to the Roosters. That I think it's a backward step. However, when I
The
look at this,
depth's huge
when I look at this team,
in the backs and the
which,
props.
yeah, but when I look at this team, that you still need to add Victor Radley into because he's been a very naughty boy. I think anything short of grand final is a failure for this team. Let me read it out to you. Tedesco at fullback. Daniel Tupou, Mark Nwangani Tuase on the wings. Billy Smith and Rob Toyer in the centres. Daly Cherry-Evans and Sam Walker in the halves. Spencer Leniu and Lindsay Collins up front. Reece Robson at hooker. Angus Crichton and Sia Wong in the back row. Nafahu White at lock. Connor Watson on the bench. Nat and Egan Butcher on the bench. And Blake Steep on the bench. That team should win the comp. Without a doubt.
It should definitely be in the prelims.
That team should be, like, if the whole last couple of years, it's been Roosters can't beat Melbourne, Roosters can't beat Penrith. That team can beat both of them.
And they've got so many good young players as well.
And like, the depth as well. Like, Victor Radley, as I said, to come back in, might play lock, might play back row, not sure. Salsi Feketi, who was good in opportunities he got last year. Taylor Lasalu was good in opportunities he got last year. You've got Tommy Talau, Junior Tupou, Junior Pauga, and Cody Ramsey as your backup outside backs. Don't really have a backup for James Tedesco, which maybe that if anything is an area of concern, that is an area of concern. Benny Elu as your backup hooker, as well as Connor Watson there. You got Hugo Savala there, who is
you could have
your
like
backup half. Like,
literally.
it is such a good team. I still think the Daly Cherry-Evans thing is a backward step because maybe win a comp this year because they're on a 1 year
It
deal.
might stagnate the
But
development.
then what happens with Savala after this year? What happens with Savala this year? Like, does he just play New South Wales Cup?
He's too good. And he can't be a 14 because that'll be Connor Watson.
Yeah, yeah. My
So
question
you can't
is, like,
have two 14s.
yeah,
Unless you
I
play Connor
unless
Watson at
Savala
13.
plays, or
But
Watson
Victor
could play.
Radley is going to come in, isn't he? So.
Well, Connor Watson could play 13. There were times last year where he did play 13. That would mean you can shift Nafahu White into the front row and Spencer Leniu doing the impact off the bench like he's done. That's a
Nathaniel White
possibility.
should be prop. But then Siwa Wong, Victor Radley, and Angus Crichton are your second rows. So what you could
Nat
do is
Butcher could
Siwa Wong could
play lock.
put in Nat Butcher
Yeah.
you can bring in. Who was that lad that made his debut last year? Where is he? Is it that Taylor Lasalu? Was that him?
Taylor Lasalu, good. Paquetti, good.
Was he the one that had a really good debut?
Yeah. Those were all the kids that came in for the game against Penrith.
Yes,
they beat Penrith,
yeah. And wasn't he? Didn't he do a shift like before the game, or the day before, or the day after? Which one was it?
I think that was Feketi. Feketi, yeah, it was on the work site the day after. Yeah. So the only questions, like the Daly Cherry-Evans, what happens with your young halves beyond this
They
year
haven't
and
even got
possibly
Tommy
next year?
Talau here.
Yeah.
They haven't even put him on
Ruben
the
Garrick next year.
squad list here.
So
you've got Tommy Talau that can play wing, centre.
Yeah.
Like that outside back depth is stupid.
Yeah. And when you
Junior Tupou as well.
Yep.
Tom Rodwell.
Yep. Yeah. It's a great squad.
Stupid outside back depth.
Yeah.
How have they got this all under the cap?
Players come to the Roosters for unders, mate.
Unders.
Yeah.
Unders.
Yeah.
Not that drastic unders, though.
And look, think of the players.
There's a lot of incentives.
Leaving.
Like, they must get free rent on Bondi. They must have properties on Bondi that, like, you can have that free rent.
Nick Politis is a very powerful man.
They must have a load of apartments there that are like, don't worry, though, you get to live rent-free in Bondi.
Yeah.
You might be on a lot of unders, but you're getting a lot of perks. Like what Super League clubs do and used to do.
Yeah.
Like, they have to be.
Yeah, oh, they would be 100%. They would be. Now, questions I have
Okay.
other than like the halves beyond next year, like what happens with Savala's development with Daly Cherry-Evans coming to the club, etc., etc. Um, can Daly Cherry-Evans take a backward step and let the team be Sam Walker's team? Because
Mm.
he's been so used, like at Manly, he touches the ball
It was
five times
his
a
team.
set. Yeah, like this has got to be Sam Walker's team. That's what's been built for the last 4 or 5 years, is for this to be
And
Sam
what will
Walker's
be
team.
after these
And what
12
it will
months?
be exactly, and what it will be after Cherry Evans. So for the Roosters long term, and for this year as well, Daly Cherry Evans needs to be able to take a backward step. Like realistically, he's your second receiver and your main kicker, and the rest of the direction around the side, around the ground, and the running of the show is all Sam Walker. And the other thing is they were that like last year they couldn't defend their line. I think it was something like 22 points a game they conceded last year, which
Yeah.
for a team that has always been like, oh, it's the Bondi Wall, we always back our defence, that's pretty bad the way the Roosters defended last year. So I know Reece Robson being there, like he's an actual dummy half that makes tackles, and it's going to tighten things up, but that's another area that the Roosters need to be very careful of, is making sure that they're not getting into these like 36-24 type games.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
that's why they haven't been able to beat
Oh, they've got
Melbourne.
Cody Ramsey, haven't they, as well? So
Yeah.
he could do the whole
So
Tedesco,
Ramsey could play
I'll play
fullback if Teddy
fullback.
goes down, yeah. But like that's why the Roosters haven't been able to beat Penrith, and that's why they haven't been able to beat Melbourne over the last couple of years, is because their defense has not been what it was during the Premiership winning era. Like that's
Yeah,
just a fact.
yeah. And with I think Robin Trent Robinson is under a bit of pressure as well to get this squad where it should be, because this squad
Oh
should
yeah.
be fifth maximum as low point.
No,
Like as in,
like top four, and anything short of top
not
four
what I
in
mean.
grand
What I
final
mean is like
is
fifth has to be the lowest point in what they can be. Like
yeah.
they've got to be top four. So at fifth you can kind of get away with, but they've got to be top four. They've got to be challenging for it minimum. With this squad, with this depth and everything in between. But I think the Cherry-Evans experiment, it's got a maximum of 8 games, a
You
third of the
reckon?
season.
And what do they do with him after that?
If it's not clicking, they've got to let Sam take over and put Savala at 6.
That's a massive call.
They've got to though, because
Yeah.
if you're
We'll
thinking,
see. Yeah.
if they go no, we're going all in on this season and we're just going to stick with Cherry-Evans, stick with Cherry-Evans, stick with Cherry-Evans, and it's still not working by
Yeah.
round 8, that's 8 games. That's a huge chunk of the season that you've
Yeah.
potentially lost points for. And this year's going to be a lot more
And
competitive than last
and
year.
and they
You only had to see
started
what Penrith did last year, and they finished
yeah.
7th.
And
So
they
one,
started slow last year too. The Roosters started
yeah,
really slow
exactly.
last year, and it was Sam Walker was injured and didn't come back until I think round 7 or 8. But it was the halves pairing of Chad Townsend and Sandon Smith,
Yeah.
and then it was Chad Townsend and Sam Walker for a little while, and it just didn't work. And it was when they needed to go, we need to change the halves. Do they have the balls to do that with Daly Cherry-Evans if it's not
So
working?
they either go, right, Sam, we're getting rid of you for the end of the year. You're going to go to New South Wales Cup again, that they've
No,
already done previously.
no.
That would then ruin his confidence and all sorts, and damage his hopes of even playing for Queensland at any point
I
during his
tell you
career.
that if that happens, that ships him back up to Queensland
Well,
to play.
exactly. So
Yeah,
he could go and be buddy up in. He could even play for PNG and be the starting star 7
yep,
and
yep,
base himself out of Cairns or whatever for whatever time that they train in um, Australia. But like, if they end up going right, we're sticking with Cherry-Evans after round 8 and it's not working, and then they go, we're sticking with you, Cherry, but we're changing Sam. We're dropping you to New South Wales Cup. It's going to be detrimental long term to the Roosters' success. But then if that improves, then Cherry-Evans is fine. But then what if it doesn't? And they're still sticking with Cherry-Evans until round 12, 16. You're out of the playoffs.
yeah. That's
It's
your
the
season over.
biggest gamble if it goes wrong. If it goes right, for 12 months. It could win them. It could be that final bit to get them to the
Yeah.
grand final and to win it. But one thing they cannot do if that happens and it succeeds is give him another 12 months. They have to just say this is a 12-month thing. We're going for it. After that, done. They have
Yeah.
to, because that will stagnate them halves drastically.
Yeah. They started really slow last year. There was that game against Penrith where they ended up punching above their weight massively, but it wasn't until I think maybe it was like Sam Walker didn't play many games last year. I'm just trying to figure out what game he came back in. I think it was against the Dragons in like round 19 or 20 that he came back into the side. And that had been after a long run of Hugo Savala and Sandon Smith. And Hugo Savala was only there because they did what you're saying. The Chad Townsend at halfback wasn't working at all, and they needed to pull the pin. And then it was Savala that came in for that game against the Broncos up at Suncorp where they beat them.
Yeah.
And then Savala was your halfback until Sam Walker came back. And then those two were the halves going forward. So, but yeah, like what you're saying, like the Roosters recognised last year when they hadn't started the season well that they needed to change the halves because the senior guy in Townsend wasn't working, and they took the punt to make sure that they had those young guys playing, and it worked. But it's going to take some massive balls if after round 8 the Daly Cherry-Evans Sam Walker partnership isn't working to change it, because like you said, like you said, if Sam Walker gets dropped, then Sam Walker is going somewhere else because they've played so many games with him and they're lucky he's still there. And Daly Cherry-Evans, if you drop him, all of a sudden you look stupid because you've signed this guy and potentially thrown out a massive amount of development that you've put into young halves like Sam Walker and Hugo Savala. Yeah, and Sandon Smith as well, who's already gone.
Who's already left because of this Daly Cherry-Evans. Yeah. Or you'd assume because of this Daly Evans thing. It's not become confirmed of that. But kind of all the pegs seem to be slotting right into the right holes for that to have happened.
That's a very graphic image, Jonathan.
And on about camping.
Yes, okay.
And
I see.
So yeah, I just think they've got to. If it's not working, they've got to make a call, and it's whether they go for the long-term call or they go for no, we're going broke. We're going 12 months and we're going all out and broke.
Balls to the wall.
And then, if that's not the right call,
change it again, and your season's over, and you've failed because you didn't make the grand final.
Then do you look at the coach?
Yeah.
Or do you look at the people that did the recruiting? And if the coach was the one who wanted Cherry-Evans, whoever wanted Cherry-Evans effectively, if this doesn't work, has to go.
I don't like how cynical you're being about whether or not the Daly Cherry-Evans thing's going to work, because you know what? I think the Roosters win the comp this year.
There you go.
I think it's a Roosters Broncos grand final.
And is Cherry-Evans going to be the 7 during that?
He's going to be the 6. He's playing 6.
The 6. Okay.
Yeah. And look, he'll probably win a Clive Churchill. And that's fine. Because it will also make me happy.
So that was
if Daly Cherry-Evans.
48,
actually, you know what? You know what I hope? I
48, 43
that Daly Cherry-Evans, because I hate Manly, and always have. I hope that it's a Roosters Manly grand final, and the Roosters win it, and Daly Cherry-Evans wins the Clive Churchill against Manly, because it would just be so funny.
There you go. Heard it here first, folks. It's the Roosters year. It's the Chooks. And that wraps up the 4-team review right there on that positive note.
Fuck you, Manly.
So speaking of Manly, should we stick them in the 4 teams for next week?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it.
Should we just have an absolute cluster of teams right at the bottom?
Titans.
So we'll have Titans, we'll have Manly, we'll have... No, they'll be our two negative reviews.
Okay. Should we go Canberra?
Should we Canberra and Cronulla? Canberra, Cronulla.
Fuck. Cronulla are so
Titans.
boring.
Yeah, but then
I went through
we'll
Cronulla's
how
squad.
how about we have next week as the 5 teams
Okay,
and then we
because
can quickly brush over Cronulla.
Cronulla they'll finish 5th. They won't beat a top 8 team, or they won't finish a team that finishes above them, and they'll go out. And they'll make it to they'll get to a semi-final because they'll play one that's snuck into the top 8 to make the finals. They will play probably 8th Para. I don't know. They'll beat Para at Shark Park, and then they'll go and play Penrith or Melbourne, whoever loses in the first week of finals, lose that game, and then they'll go. All the Sharks fans will go, no, this team is enough to win a comp, and you go, no, they're not, because they're boring.
So there you go. This is our Cronulla review. We've now got 5 teams.
There's bonus review.
Should we just do it now? Should we just get it out the way?
I can't watch Cronulla. They are so boring.
Get it out the way? Right,
they haven't signed anybody. They haven't recruited anyone. Right? They've kept the same team that has been bundled out of finals 5 years in a row. They decide not to add anybody to the squad. And
this is the issue, isn't it?
You know what? No, we signed the guys that we needed to sign because Nico's there and Adam Fanua-Blake's there, and they're going to carry us. They haven't carried you for 4 years because there's nothing else around them. They are the most boring team in the competition to watch. They've got zero X factor across the park. Poor old Nico Hines has to wear every single loss because not a single person in that team punches up when they play against good teams in finals.
And
it's the same. And it's the same thing every year.
Blasted.
Blake Brayley ran the ball more this year, and it's like, okay, that's great. It's because his forwards did not get them going forward. I'm sorry. I hate Cronulla as well. I can't watch them.
There you go. This was a 5-team review this week. So Cronulla are out of next week's running because they've already been done. They are going to be... You've heard it all there.
They're so boring.
2.5 minutes. Thing is, though, even the best team in the comp recruits because you need to freshen up the roster. You need new faces every year.
They've had the same issue.
Wigan didn't do it last year. They didn't win anything.
They've had the same issue for 5 years, and they get asked about it every week when Craig Fitzgibbon sits down in media after they lose to Melbourne or lose to the Panthers or lose to the Roosters. And it's, why can't you beat the top teams? And it's like,
Canberra.
we just haven't gotten over the line yet. Yeah, but Canberra lost by 50, so that doesn't count. They lost by 50 a couple of weeks before. But it's been the same thing that they get asked every week or the end of every season is, how are you going to get over the prelim final hump? And it's like, we're just going to go back to the drawing board. But you don't recruit anyone. You don't add anybody to the team that has done the same thing for 5 years straight. Like, they'll come 5th and they'll look great throughout the year, and then they just won't be able to beat teams in finals.
Yeah, agreed. There you go. There's a bonus.
Okay, so who are we doing next week?
So we're doing Canberra, we're doing Titans, we're doing Manly, and we're doing Tigers. Sod it, we'll do the 4.
Oh, God.
We'll do them 4. We've already done 5, so we're on the odd numbers now. We can just stick to even.
You've got me so fired up about the Sharks just then.
Ronaldo Militalo's going to listen to this and be like, I'm going to tell everyone that we are not to be misjudged. We're going to go out fighting.
We're happy to have a Shark on the show if they want to come and join us.
Yeah, I'd love to see him give it a bit of.
I'm sorry. I feel sorry for Blake. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say bad things about Blake Brayley.
Yeah, so sorry, Sharks fans. He should have played for England anyway. He decided to cower out and play for Australia instead, and didn't even get on the pitch. So he got paid England if he wants.
He got paid $13,000 for an all expenses paid trip to the UK and Scotland to play golf and watch football. Like,
literally, and have a few pints.
Yeah.
Same with Ethan Strange, mate. You know your calling is to come for England now. This is it. This was your sign at the Ashes. So, see, we'll take Jaden, to be honest. Jaden, if you want to come. We need a 9. He's about 34 now, isn't he, Jaden?
I don't even think he's that old. I think he's pretty young still.
He's just been a journeyman, isn't he?
That's such a harsh word. Journeyman
of the New South Wales Cup.
No, Cronulla
I
and
know he's 6 in
Newcastle
my
and
age. He's
Canberra.
29, Jaden.
Ah,
Man.
he goes all right. He was good. He was really good.
Yeah. So, one of you can pick us. Anyway, I need to watch the new Avatar film. I still need to go do
Oh,
that. So, I
I'm
might do that tonight.
I'm in the midst of rewatching Peaky fucking Blinders
So am I!
because the movie
Oh my
comes out
god!
because
Oh
the
my
movie
god!
comes out in like a
I'm up
month.
to the Russians.
I'm not up to the Russians yet. I'm up to what's happened. What?
Sabini.
Nah, they're not. No, they're about to go to London. So
Oh.
they've just killed Billy Kimber. So
Oh,
we're
yes. You're in start season
is this
2.
a spoil? No, it came. It's like 2011. If you haven't
Spoiler.
watched it, get over it. Yeah, but the movie is. I'm excited for the movie.
Yeah, same.
I love
I
going back to
watched
the
the trailer
start,
and I was like,
like
ooh,
like
Nazis.
like going
It's
back to
like nowadays.
yes, like going back to the start, and you see the characters and like where they end up. Like
Yeah.
Arthur at the start, you kind of like you were always going to end up the way you ended up.
And now the
Lizzie at the
actor
start,
is.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
which is
that's
a
sad.
shame.
Paul Anderson. Lizzie at the start, it's kind of like I can't believe you end up being like a lady of gentry.
Yeah.
Like that's
Like you're
insane.
just a prosy
Um,
man, and now you're a lady of the manor.
that's so I distance myself from.
Anyway, no more spoilers. No more spoilers for them.
It's been out for years.
I know. I keep telling my mum and dad to watch it, and they're like, "Oh, we watched one episode
A
once, didn't
peaky
like it." I
fucking
went, "What
wait
episode?" I went, "Are
until
you joking?"
wait until you get to the Russians and Duchess Petrovna, and you'll be
Yeah. The Russians, though, first time I watched it, still confuses me. The second time I'm watching it, I'm like, why are they bothering with the Russians
it comes
now?
out. It kind of comes out
And
of
then
nowhere,
they
doesn't it?
and then they realise they're like, oh yeah, we kind of messed this season up because we've kind of gone from Irish, and Italian to then just randomly going to the Soviets and then
Yeah.
went back to the Italians.
Well, it's like a shipping thing, isn't it? Like they were gonna ship a whole bunch of stuff to the Bolsheviks, and
Yeah. And then, but at the time
don't get me
during
started on
history,
the
the
Russian
Bolsheviks
Revolution.
and the Soviets were like going at it.
The Bolsheviks were no, it was the Reds, which were the Bolsheviks, and the Whites, which were like the Tsarist army, and that's
Yes,
what the
yeah.
Petrovna family are.
Yeah.
That's what the
And
Petrov. No, I don't think. No, I don't think they were shipping to the Bolsheviks. I think they were shipping weapons to the White Army to fight the Bolsheviks in Russia.
yes, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Should we do a
It was
Russian
the White
Revolution
Army.
podcast?
I mean, I don't think I'm qualified for that, but I could definitely do World Wars.
Yeah. This is what I'm reading at the moment.
What are you reading?
The Secret
Camp
Life of
says.
Secret Life of
Rudolf
Rudolf
Hess.
Hess.
Oh,
Yep.
mate, he was
He was
in
a
Spandau
moron.
prison. Yeah, he was a proper moron. He landed in Glasgow,
He crashed in like it was like somewhere in the north of Scotland. He was trying to meet the Duke of Hamilton and be like negotiate
because
this peace deal.
He was like, we'll be peaceful, and we were like, nah. We've got Hitler's right hand man here. Come down to the Tower of London. We'll put you in the Tower of London. He was the last prisoner of the Tower of London as well.
I don't think the Brits realised like just how on the outer he was with the rest of the Nazi high command that by the time he got caught.
Yeah. He wasn't in the inner circle.
He wasn't supposed to be on this flight. Like he was on a flight ban because he was so insane.
Went, no, I will sort this. Yeah, I will sort this. I will make sure the English bow down to us. Yes, don't worry, Adolf.
Excuse me, Winston.
Tell you.
Mr. Churchill, I broke my trotter falling out of the plane.
Yeah, is it impossible to do a German accent without being camp? Without being a little bit on the LGBTQ side?
If you really,
I can't do it.
If you go full, like, I'm not going to do it. I was going to do Hitler
don't do it. Don't do it. Like, I knew what you were going to do. Everyone knew what you were going to do. Just don't.
Have you seen Nuremberg? Did we speak about this on the last pod?
No. It's on.
It's really good.
My watch list. Maybe I'll watch that tonight and save my money on the cinema.
Yeah, it's really good.
Couple of pints to break my 4-week window.
And then
come back, watch Nuremberg. Oh yeah, Russell Crowe's in it.
Yeah.
Oh, have you heard
It's going.
Cillian Murphy's been leaked as the new Voldemort by Ranulph Fiennes?
That's kind of awesome.
By
I'm
Ralph
into that.
Fiennes.
I'm into that.
Because he accidentally said he was like, they're on about Cillian Murphy and or something. Oh no, they're on about who should play the next, who should play Voldemort to him, and at the 28 years later premiere, and he
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, well I think your man Cillian Murphy, he'll be a great Voldemort. He will be a great Voldemort. I mean, I think it's all been announced now, hasn't it?" And then
No.
the reporter's like, "No," and he's like, "Oh, well yeah, he'd be a great one." He just like
Cillian
he's
Murphy is
like,
such a good actor.
I love it. I'd love
Like,
it though if it wasn't Cillian
yeah.
Murphy now, and it's
Yeah.
just like
He's
Ralph's
just
just
throwing everyone
played
off
the
the scent.
media brilliantly.
Yeah.
But he looks like, honestly, bald him off, take off a bit of his
Oh,
nose. He'd be the perfect Voldemort.
him in Oppenheimer is like the body transformation he went through is sickly.
Yeah, I've still only partially watched Oppenheimer. I
Also,
watched 1.5 hours and then was like, I'll save part 2 till next time. Got distracted, and then 2 weeks passed. I was like, oh yeah, still need to finish that.
I think can Cillian Murphy play a character in a movie or TV show that doesn't just smoke constantly?
No,
Like, can you
it's
imagine how many?
impossible. Even
Can you
in
imagine
his
how many
early
menthol?
days, in his
Can you
early
imagine how
acting,
many like it'd be like the herbal cigarettes or whatever that they use on movie sets? Can you imagine how
his
many
lungs would be
herbal
goose.
cigarettes he's gone through? Bit through playing Tommy Shelby and then playing Robert Oppenheimer, and I think his 28 Days Later character smoked
Are they
too.
going to have Voldemort smoking, smoking in this new HBO
I want
series?
Stoner. I want Stoner Voldemort. Can you imagine Voldemort as a stoner in the new Harry? Oh,
Mate,
can you imagine
it'd be weird.
how
I
much
feel like Seamus Finnegan would be a good
easier?
stoner.
Yeah, Ron would be a good stoner.
Crab, Goyle, they'd definitely sample.
Yeah, well, them in the
They'd
Polyjuice scene in
100%
Chamber of
be the
Secrets.
ones dealing like all sorts of drugs in the toilets. Them two
What?
would definitely be it.
Since we're fully off track, let's rank Harry Potter movies.
Prisoner of Azkaban 1.
Really?
Ah, yes.
I'm a Half-Blood Prince one.
See, because a lot of the book is missed out and a lot of vital scenes. I
Yeah.
didn't, even though David Yates is from St. Helens, he's the director. I didn't like how much of how he ranked so many important scenes. I feel like there was a lot more that could have been put in.
Yeah.
That's
But
why
I
I'm
think
looking
the
forward to the
quality of the movie
series.
is great.
Yeah, the quality of the movie is great, but I just love the book that much that it let me
Yeah.
down a lot. So,
Yeah.
I think if I didn't read the books and just watched the film, I'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah, sounds. Or I'm gonna get ChatGPT to make a Harry Potter rugby league crossover now. So yeah, Prisoner of Azkaban #1. I reckon #2 probably Goblet of Fire.
Goblet of Fire is my number 2. That's where it heats up.
Dark. Like it starts getting dark in the Prisoner of Azkaban, but it gets dark in the Goblet of Fire.
I've got Prisoner of Azkaban 3rd.
Yeah.
Chamber of Secrets 4th.
I reckon. Oh, I'm currently rewatching them. I reckon Deathly Hallows Part 2 is probably 3. Chamber of Secrets 4.
Yeah.
Prisoner of Azkaban 5. Order of Phoenix 6.
Order of Phoenix
7
sucks.
being Half-Blood Prince, and 8 being Part 1.
Part one's terrible. Like it's a bridging
Because it's
teaser
so
of a movie.
they could have just done that.
It's
all
just
in
camping.
one part.
It's just camping and a Harry Potter and Hermione sex scene that we didn't need.
Yeah. Spoilers.
It's been out for nearly 20 years. I think people will be fine.
At the same time as Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if we're doing Titanic, the boat sunk? Oh, spoilers.
Yeah.
So
in Die Hard.
They blow up this building, right? And
Snape dies in Die Hard. Sorry.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he is dead now, so.
And Snape cheats in Love Actually.
Yeah.
As well.
And Rick Grimes is
He cheats on Emma Thompson. Like, how can you do that to Emma Thompson?
I know, like peak Emma Thompson as well.
Yeah.
And then,
and
Rick Grimes just shows up at the door.
Friend.
Just shows up at the door with some placards, and
can't
there you go.
Can't believe Keira Knightley's jaw didn't win an Oscar. in that movie.
I still can't believe Andrew Lincoln's never been nominated for an Emmy for Rick
Mm,
Grimes. Like, that is
yeah.
mental. Some of them performances.
Yeah, but Walking Dead
We've
gets
done.
shit after like season 6.
No, it doesn't, man. Stop talking rubbish. Um. Anyway, this has been the Rugby League podcast. We'll end it
You
there.
shut down a healthy. You just shut down a healthy debate.
Yeah, because I can't be bothered with it.
Oh, it's been fun. Bonus movie review, history lesson, um, and bonus team review as
Literally.
well.
It's just mental. It's been some episodes, so this has been the Rugby League podcast. I've been Johnny, he's been Sam. You've had everything from Manly bagging, Cronulla bagging, all the way through to your reviews of the 4 teams plus your bonus. And then you get some films at the end. What you got more than what you bargained for today. So you've
Podcast
got
for
your money's
everyone.
worth, and it has been a pleasure from us. So see you next week.